This is for you. It might be shared with maybe Andre, but for now, this is for you. I already shared the idea with Andre last weekend on Monday because we were both speaking about it. But without further ado, do not take your time. So I had two ideas. First, I started with one, this one. So just to zoom in, we have, I was continuing if price was balanced. So if this range was balanced, if the IBM range was balanced, and then I was seeking a CST and a BISCAD model. So if we open in premium, I know that the data says, let's see the data because maybe not too important because, so we are going for initial balanced break. So it says that if between 9 and 30, because this is very important here. So for me, because this was like 96% of the time, this is broken. That is insane. But also, so it will be broken before 4 p.m. But also, this was also what I started with. But this on the second, so it's like so before 12. But before we start that, so this will broke on 96% of the time, of course, depending on how far it's always good. And it could go the other way, like today, it didn't break the lower session even though it opened because this guy says that I was talking about the side, which side it breaks. It says escalation with the side that is breaking where it opened. So 81% if it's in the high and 74% if it's in the low. And really, I truly believe this low and high. However, I see that a lot of the times when we are in the high of the IB, we are more likely to break it than we are to low. But still, this is 74% of the time. So even if it's 74%, that means wherever you are, that is still insane. So 30 times is very good. Of course, this one we broke through it. So typically this is on Wednesday, so 2 days ago. So typically, what am I saying? So let's say we started this day, and in this example was not the best, but when market opened here. Sorry, when this range started here at 9:30 Chicago, but 10:30. I'll be drawing out FEGs, right? So this is an expansion that ended. This is the start of a new expansion or year. So this is an FEG that I'm interested in. This is a Gandalf. I prefer Gandalfs. So if we have a Gandalf, it's like the principle of the what's it called again? BISCAD model. So you have an FEG here. You want price to come down here, form an OB, CSC the OB can come back to it and then expand away. So I really like this because I've been seeing it also in my normal trading, especially for the continuations with quants. I said that sometimes type 2s do not show up, but alternatively, the BISCAD model shows up. So there is this FEG. At the start, we dumped into it. Of course, you do not, according to ICT and according to Kish, you don't want to close below this. This was a week. Of course, you wanted the CST, so this happened. I believe I was saying this in real life, but it was so small. I was like, nah, this is 7 point. I think I wanted to short because of shadow, but we have to separate it. So I was looking at that, and this was Wednesday. Maybe I think last week was very good because there were lots of winners on this IBM range. You just worked out a lot. Last week from I believe the third or the second which was really good. I think there was only one losing week or something. So typically, so if we just start from last week, so what was I doing? And I'll show you why the other one. So we opened on premium. I'm not using the correct indicator. Let's turn this off for a minute because we do not need the session hedge here for the first one. So when I was doing this, I was like, all right, we have this. This is the first one. I'm only looking for FEGs, so that's strange. Okay, because it can go back. So this is the middle of the range. So we open on premium. I'm thinking, where's the FEG? Not just any FEG. For me, I always wanted an FEG and expansions. If you're trading expansions, then FEG and expansions, so either FEG number 2 or Gandalf. In this instance, that was this. We didn't create a new one, so if you wanted to go for now, we have in Gandalf here, second FEG, Gandalf, second. We tapped into this. All right, CSC this, and that is interesting. We added this, we CSC this. If I was in a rush, because I would have preferred an FEG that was inside there, but this is the next one, so this will be my first trade once this happens, because it's also a CSC into it. I'll buy this. Where will my stop be? Not here, because it doesn't happen. This is the, according to, do not close this, and this is the next place. Of course, because price might come here and we are above fifth of this equally, you can extend it down. But if we are just using stop loss, target this, it's a TPSL strategy. So that was that. Of course, you can add more when we CS'd this guy, that is, because that was the first candle that entered into this. I said this already is 6 minutes and I guess going to be small. An expansion, Gandalf, come back into it, CS'd this. Add more position if you do something like that. But I like that confluence. In this instance, this, so came very close 2 times here. So the next day too, so I was doing that, and I'll show you the data. This is that one. This is the first candle that I saw. Was it an expansion? Not really, but that is the first. That's the only thing that made sense here. Not an expansion, but that's the only thing that made sense here in premium price could be deep down. But after we opened here, this is the first time we are digging. Once I see this, this is the first buy. It's a CSD. Why? Because we've tapped this where my stop loss would be, and we've CSD. So I'm trusting this, and that is that trade. So, and because just last week, yeah, this is form fitting, and I think this also was 2 losses, 1 win. This was exactly, this is perfect. I like this because this is in this expansion before we closed, and this is it. We tapped into it, no CST, first CST. I would be a little wary, but why would I trust it? It's a type 2, so even if I didn't buy it here, I would buy it. Type 2, so if I didn't trust that CST, because we are closing, we've not closed below this, but we are weakening it. I don't like it. And when my stop will not be here now. My stop will be there, minimum, or here, because this was a type 2. So this, because you said to break it, yeah. But I see that a lot, that when it's going deep, prices retrace, but 58 point retraced, but TPSL if you're doing that. So I had this idea first, and I also, there was something else I did. It was like, if price is, maybe on this video is not good, but if price is balanced, so if this range is balanced, because I need to show you what I was doing, so I'd also click onto this. So this was the first one. So I was looking for something. I was looking like, okay, price, is it unbalanced or balanced? Where are we premium? Where did we open? Where was it? If it's unbalanced, okay, where was it unbalanced? Where is this imbalance? Or rather, premium. Okay, where did we open? We opened in the premium of the range. And was the trade they win on. So I was collecting that. And what I noticed was that there was a reversals, because Andre also mentioned. So if it is, I was looking at reversals for balanced prices, because if price is already balanced, so let's find the latest example, hopefully. So we didn't have any, so what do I mean is that, so this, according to the feed I was using, was balanced. This wasn't there, but that is assume it was balanced. Because it was not the feed I was using, I just used this NQ for you. So at this time, we close here. So if this is a balanced price range, we know that 50% of this range is sensitive. Additionally, Andrew was talking about the fact that we have the open of this candle, the open of the 10:30 open or 9:30 open in this Chicago ETC -5, the open, the 8:30 open, the high and lows of the range. So we can anticipate reversals. So at this place we had this OB, then you can sell. But I only did this for balanced prices. So let me see, and then I would look at where did it get to. It gave 20 points and lost. It got to the IBM open 23 points. So I was just gathering data for this in this instance. So let's see, whereby it gave more. So we had opening the discount in the premium on my feed. So open here in premium comes into this, right? So this is an FEG, but I said I was like, it's an FEG, nothing. This is a Gandalf, so this will lose. Comes back into it once I set that for CST, and we're above the open again. I'm buying. I have to buy to this point, and then it was balanced. So this one just balanced every red candle at the green candle. So you can do reversals. This is the OB. So actually the trade should be up here, but we close through this FEG. We sell this down. So I was looking at that, but I do not know because the data says it breaks in one direction. They didn't talk about breaking in both directions. All right, so I will share this data. So the first one was, okay, was it unbalanced? For example, this was unbalanced. Where was the inefficiency, or imbalance? It was in both premium and discount. In this instance, we broke down, and that's the end of it. But another thing I noticed, all right, this is already 11, but sorry, was that when we closed above 50% of the range after taking a side, very important. So if we already won and the trade and the market reverses, so if it won and then it reverses, most times if it closes above or below the EQ, price is going for the other range. And so in this instance, let me close all this so that my system doesn't crash. So in this instance, I also have this EQ. Did it get to EQ? And we see that only 1, 2, I think 3 losses occurred, whereby price got to the EQ and reversed, and everything must be so EQ1. Let's see, for instance, there. So this was the trade. Only, like I said, only after we hit here, not before. Once this trade was there, it won. After winning here up to price reversed here, and of course I would close because there's no point holding this overnight. Well, I also do not know where I got to. So EQ close. Let's see. It doesn't work all the time, but it's just something I'm realizing. We touched this, died, went up, died. But even if I sold this, like, okay, if I sold it here, of course stop will be high. It cannot be in this Gandalf because price could retrace and dies. So that was done. But then I pay, so for IBM, I pay attention to this EQ close because it's important. It's just there, something I observed. So on this day, we hit this level. We didn't close until this, so no dramas. On this other day, we hit. What did we do? We hit. This was Friday last week. We closed below this, closed above 50%, ran up, closed down below, but that was that. I don't know if on Monday, I think this Monday it failed, or yeah, I remembered it closed last minute at 3 o'clock. It went down with bit. You shouldn't hold this because market's already about to close, but it closed. I don't think it was much, even if you sold instantly here. It was just 12 point, but this is the last hour of the day, up to 4. And as at 4, you are down in drawdown and it lost. But it shouldn't be. It went up, but eventually died. This, what happened? You said after it closed down. What did we have? We have a reversal here, buy. And in my review, I really saw some things. And if you remember Tuesday, around this time also, there was also something. So we failed to go up as close as we were, died, and went back up. If I was using this, I think there would have been a loss. Not that I think there was a loss. This was the Gandalf. This was the Gandalf that was still open. We tapped into it, CST it. I would have lost here on this trade, and maybe I will have bought again here, and I'll have lost 2 times before this happened. But I changed something in minutes. I'm really sorry, this is going to be more than 15 minutes. So Gandalf, we didn't touch it, we went up. closed 50% of it died. Touched it, not died, like touched the other side. So this is today. This was after taking it. So if we close below 50% of this, I might be looking for more sales. That's very interesting. Yesterday we did not close until after. So that is part one. Like I said, it's just to buy this and all this data shows it. So then part two, I felt like maybe stopping this. Let me stop this because so that the big video doesn't look overwhelming.